Yes, well, one thing is to start with, when we talk about oral communications and listening, that is the all-pervasive and oldest and unavoidable mode. We are always in a field of sounds and silences. You cannot walk away from that. You cannot say, I don't want to see Mike, I will turn around and I will not see him. I cannot turn around from a sound. It's surround sound. The whole field is pervaded by sounds. So that communication there is not only between people, but with the entire environment. The way the wind sounds for early people, well, that's the way you watch your steps, the way something growls, all of that is part of the field. We speak, when we dialogue, we talk about something.
Yeah.
But when talking about something, sound tells us more. Okay, remember in theater when somebody says, and Brutus is an honorable man. Well, that's a statement, Brutus is an honorable man, but how it is said, the sound, we know that it is meant ironically.
Ironically,
Yeah, so sound carries more than a propositional statement. When we speak, even orally, we don't just speak with our voice. We speak with a voice that we acquired through others, the style of speaking, the way to sound. You borrow sounds from your parents, from your friends, and you continue with them and you vary them. Because oral traditions don't transmit words. They transmit the entire attunement through sound to the world. You know, and then world is resonant. In the pervasiveness of sound, when we listen, we select we push the entire field into the background, and in the foreground, some sounds are selected as linguistic, as important, as scary, as indication of something going on. There is a selectivity out of the whole field, but the field does not disappear.
No.
Field remains as a depth. You are never passive. And when you are listening to something important, you're listening critically. You're evaluating things. Well, that's the person who just said that, now he's saying something else. Does that match? Does that follow? Does it make sense? While you're not talking, you are in fact actively synthesizing, questioning, formulating other options, greater depth. So any good listener is very active, and any good speaker catches on and expects certain things to be dropped, certain things to continue. And so there is interaction instead of action and reaction. Instead of I'm listening and passively sitting and then I'm going to respond. There is continuous interaction. In the polycentric sense, when even if something is written down, the best way to understand it fully is to read it out loud. Yeah, because you will catch on to how they spoke, for example, how they intonated, and you'll find much more than you thought there was. So it's always more that opens up in polylog. Okay. A good conversation with a friend is just as good as visiting a psychiatrist. A friend who's attuned, who understands, who listens, who asks questions, you know, that logotherapy, other directedness. You listen to the person, you explore options, you don't impose anything, and then you're responsible. You're, resonating with the person. you know, what do you do when somebody is very sad? You know, how do you resonate with say, well, you see, let me tell you how to behave. No, you give them a hug.
Yeah, you
know.
exactly.
I mean,
yeah.
rock them. You know, that's words are not needed. That kind of attunement is more profound than talking about moral imperatives. You know.